Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Now this, and I'm starting now, isn't a video I actually wanted to do. In fact, I refused to do this at one point, but I feel like Jason needs to explain a few things, and I feel like it's my my platform needs to be especially educated, because I need to be educated by it.
Well, we've done a lot of stuff together.
Yeah.
Over the past 6 years.
Yeah.
So Jamie's been getting a lot of messages. We've
been inundated with stuff, unfortunately.
I still get a lot of messages. Lovely messages.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
but
to our mutual followers.
Honestly, thank you so much, and sorry to butt in, but at the end of the day, we're here to tell you guys what's happened. So please watch the video. You know, Jason's going to explain it. I'm going to go behind the camera, and yeah, we're going to tell the story. Unfortunately, it's the story we can tell right now.
It is, but at least if it's on film.
Yeah. And you guys know about it.
It's the story's been told. It's taken me until February to be able to talk about it because it's been harrowing. But yeah.
And again, I didn't really want to do this because I don't want to glorify
we don't know what else
things,
to do.
but I don't know how other way of doing this.
We could have done another social media post, but you know what? It might be easier just to
sit and explain it,
chat what's happened, and yeah.
Right, take it over.
So, yeah, December. I've been a bit out of the game, haven't I? Not been about. Not been on socials. Had some stuff to do at home. It's just been a bit crazy. So 5th December, I came into this showroom where the escort lives. I decided, right, Christmas is coming up. Let's tax it. Weather that week was pretty decent, so I thought to myself, tax it, I'll take it home, and then it's ready for when me and Nipper go off and do Christmas present deliveries, that kind of thing. So yeah, thought cool, get the car home. So that day our friend Zach had delivered some wood, so I had loads of wood outside the garage, and it was bedlam. And as you know, it gets dark real quick, so I was like, I'll be on floodlight duty when I get home, but I'm going to crack on with it. So went in the office, found the logbook, like, wicked, tax it. Obviously it's always insured, but yeah, I just taxed it so I could drive it home that day. We pulled it out, I put it on my story, wiped it down, bit of dust off of it, put it over there. I was excited, I haven't driven it since the last show in September, so I was like, 3 months not using it, can't wait, it's dry night, gonna take it home. Got in the car, went home, and had a very enjoyable drive home. It's quite clear because I left quite late. Got a car home, chucked it outside. Wood, right, I've got all this wood stuff, got all this stuff to move in the garage. Right, gonna go have my dinner, get back outside. That's me for the evening. I've got loads of stuff to do. Moved all the wood through to my log store at the back of the house, back of the garage. It's Christmas soon. Right, Christmas lights, everyone on the road's putting their Christmas lights up. Right, I'll do that. Do that while I'm out there. Plugged the Christmas lights in, they worked. I was like, bloody brilliant. So, put all those up. I'll get a bit trigger happy with the old camera at this point because I've got the Escort sat there and the pretty Christmas lights. I'm like taking a few photos thinking, this is cool, and I'm sending them through to Laura like, do you like this colour? Do we do purple? Do we do green? Normal sort of stuff. And yeah. Gets around to 9:30, I'm like, I'm pretty tired. I've just put the Escort in the garage, parked it up. Me being me, took a photo of it again with the dusk of light. I was like addicted to taking photos of that car. Took a little photo of it. Ah, cool. Come back outside, put the garage door down, and then remembered I need to go in and set my timers for the lights. So I had Bluetooth thingies, whatever, however they link. They've worked for 3 years, and on that system is charger for the car, charger for Jensen's bike, and the Christmas lights. They've got their own separate ones. Anyway, went indoors, chilled out. It's now 20 to 10. Car's tucked away. What I did do though, just as I'm going through the garage, is I put Jensen's electronic bike on charge. But the weather's going to be nice this weekend. We knew we were having a cold, dry spell. Chuck it on charge. It's now 10:30, watching a bit of telly with the wife, and thinking about going to bed. Right, cool. So she's like, you turn these lights off. They're like, it's like an amusement arcade, like through our bedroom window. You couldn't see. It's just like, so yeah, cool. I'll go on my phone. Get my phone out. oh, nothing's connected. This is odd. So sat there on the app, like, and it just wouldn't do anything. It was making the noise, but nothing was happening because the lights were still on, and it wasn't saying that it was registering a connection. Bear in mind, 3 years I've used this system for a torch lamp. You know, all those things that are on timers work on these lights, and they work with a timer on my phone. Nothing's happening. So I shout up to her, I was like, listen, I'm going to have to put that electric door up. Hopefully it don't work at children because it's quite noisy, because obviously it's bolted to the house. And you kind of hear a vibration. Not horrendous, but, you know, it's going to wake kids up. So I shout up to her, look, the door's going to have to go up. So, yeah, alright, well, you know, you've got to turn these lights off. Pick the zapper. I've put on a pair of joggers and a t-shirt, and it's freezing cold. Right, I'm about to go to bed. So obviously I was about ready for bed, so I was like pretty skimpily dressed. So now I'm like, right, put something quick on just to run out. Like, you know, you miss the bins. Quick pair of jogging pants, trainers, off you go. I'm like, I don't want to be out here all night. It's freezing cold. Put the door up. It's an electronic remote. It was on the RS keys. Just lift on there. And I was like, what's that smell? The door's going up, quite slow, and I just walk from my front door to the fit. My car's on fire. Like, my car is on fire. Oh my god. Yeah, the realisation of what's happened. I did this 1 second of me. I could see the fire. Turn the camera. It was like at the back of it was at the back of the car, and the bike that I put on charge was right behind the Escort. And the fire, from where I could see, was aiming at the spoiler of the RS Turbo. So the RS Turbo is plastic. It was dripping. I've in that 1 second of time of capture that I looked at it, I've gone, nothing I can do about that. I've run indoors, captured my missus and shouted up to her, we've got to get out, fire. She's gone and got my son, who is dead to the world, fast asleep. Sienna not far off. We've got out as 20 seconds, we're all out, run back in, get the last dog, hoofed everybody in the car. Whilst I'm on the phone to 999, the missus has got the car full of dogs and people, with not many clothes on. We are in that much of a hurry, and we're all asleep. Door is now fully up, and the oxygen has now met the fire. Thankfully, my kids didn't really see it. Jensen didn't. Sienna did catch a glimpse of the orange fire, like coming down the side of the garage. And then, yeah, kids safe, dogs safe. Laura's come out into the road, done left. We've got to get in the car, not to save it, but where else are we going? We've got to get in a mode of transport. She's got out on the main road. I'm phoning 999, as you would imagine. The one time, now let me just put this into context. My phone never connects to Laura's car. I want to play some music and listen to it in her car. Never connects. It's like, this ain't your car, mate. You come in here once a week if you're lucky, and it will not connect to it. Range Rovers have a little thing where they recognise the most person that gets in, and it defaults to their phone. Not tonight. The phone call to the fire brigade is now connected to the car that's driving down the road. Right, so we are losing valuable seconds. Luckily, I'm now running down the road as Laura's now pulled up on the pavement to get away from the fire. I've now spoke to the fire brigade. This is now 1 minute past 11. Time frame, we're an hour and a half since put the car away. And it's been in this showroom up to 5 o'clock that night. So this is the unluckiness of the car. And why people keep asking about the car, just explain what happened. Thankfully, my family and my children are in my other car, and we are away from the house. Got the fire brigade sorted. They were unbelievably fast. 6.5 minutes, and they're at my house. And they saved our house. So we were another 3 or 4 minutes away from losing our roof and losing our house ultimately. So the Isle of Wight Fire Brigade saved our dwelling. You can't ask for more than that. So the car's gone. Don't care. I've got my family. We did lose a pet. We did lose a tortoise who was hibernating. He wouldn't have known anything about it. He was in a deep sleep. He lived in the garage. And we lost a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't matter. My family made it. We are all out. We are all safe. We got rehoused by our insurance company for a little while whilst repairs were made to make the house safe and clean. And ultimately made me a very nervous person with regards to electronics. Which is why I put a post up around New Year's, because I couldn't feel like I could celebrate this year without getting it out there about what happened to me and my little family, and potentially all these people that have got similar toys and items and equipment that should not be charged anywhere near a house. They should be out of the shed, away, because there was nothing wrong with this piece of equipment at all. It just decided today was its day for a lithium ion explosion. That's it. And when they start going, they go. And all I could hear when I opened that door, I can hear it now, is a thrust of a firework. It was going like that. That's all I remember is that noise. You were not doing anything with that. Back to the fire brigade. Laura's now taken the kids safely to the in-laws. I'm now there. It's about 1 degree outside. I've got a t-shirt on. no shoes. No socks, sorry. Pair of, like, I don't know, sliders or something I had on my feet. It wasn't the correct footwear for the evening. It was absolutely freezing cold. And I sat there and watched the fire brigade control the fire so cleverly and save my house from burning down. Just incredible. You know, the car was already the car was not. You weren't saving the car at the point I found the fire. That wasn't the aim here. It was to get the fire brigade there, stop it from spreading through our roof, and ultimately taking out the rest of the house. The fire brigade commented and said that another 3 or 4 minutes of that blaze, and we wouldn't have captured and saved your roof, which ultimately is timber. And then obviously the worst is the worst. But the best news is that the Bluetooth failed. So if the technology that night hadn't failed with the lights and it just went off, there was a silent killer in that garage that I knew nothing about. I would have been upstairs, time to go to sleep, brush my teeth. The next thing I'd have heard was the petrol tank exploding on the car. By which point, who knows? Can't really talk about that. Don't know where that ends. There's obviously lots of scenarios as you run through your head, which I have done every single day since it's happened. Yeah.
So what was the cause of the problem? The fire?
Battery, lithium ion batteries. They like live in a row. They're the ones that you find in those like e-cig vape things, like a gun cartridge. There's 27 of those live in a row, and one of them had decided that it had become unstable just during its charging process. It had been charging for an hour. Bearing in mind this is a 7-hour cycle for this thing, so it wasn't overheated, it wasn't a hot day, it wasn't in sunshine. It just decided today was the day, and the damage that caused is unreal. Still fixing my house now. I took quite a lot of time off work. Family members and insurance company. The clear up is outrageous. Just fire is unreal. It just demolishes anything in its sight. So yeah, that's why, you know, there's pictures of the car circulating on social media, and I appreciate everyone reaching out and saying we're really sorry to hear about the car, and is it going to get rebuilt? The answer is no. The car was a category A write-off. It was twisted. It saw some serious temperatures in there. So yeah, it's gone. It's gone to the scrapyard in the sky. It's not going to be replaced. I'm not going to build another Series 1 RS Turbo. I've done it. I'm going to have a little break from old Fords for a little while, Still going to mosey on down with the red van and Jensen's Fez. But yeah, I'm not going to buy another one for myself. I'm not in the mood for restoration, because after watching what can happen after 3 years of ownership, and certainly 18 months of putting the car together, and you witnessed it with 6 or 7 videos on your channel, and the trials and tribulations at Martin's, and putting together here, and for an hour of fire to take it away, it makes you just feel like I can't be bothered. It can't be asked.
We will say now though, it wasn't the car's fault.
No.
The car was just in the position at the time to take the brunt of
the car was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
The car wasn't at fault here. The electrics didn't go, the fuel weren't leaking, nothing like that. It was a lithium-ion battery that is created this fire because it's done a chain reaction throughout the battery, which a lot of Tesla people will know full well that once one goes, they all go, and then it's hard to put a fire like that out, and it spreads really quickly and stays hot for a very long time.
You're quite right, and it caught fire to the back of the car, and of course there was 2 tyres at the back of the car, one in the spare and one here where the battery was, where the bike was, and I watched them for 45 minutes. I've never seen so much water in my life. Like literally, they drained 2 engines in the time they were there, and then had to pick up the water hub from outside on a road and fill it back up because it wouldn't go out. They have 1 engine controlling the fire on the roof. You just don't realise how clever the fire brigade are. Incredible. They had all these sensors with temperature in the loft, so they knew what was going on in my loft if it was getting too hot up there, and they saved the house. They're incredible. And I watched the whole thing because, well, what else do you do? Do you go off for your family? No. It's your castle. I was watching it. I was helpless. Nothing I could do. Of course I was sad about the car, but I soon got over it because my family are alive. And we lost our 15-year-old tortoise, bless him. But again, he's a pet. Bloody sad. Kids are sad, but we as a family are still here. And like I keep saying, if it wasn't for that Bluetooth signal being blocked, probably by smoke, because of the density of the smoke in there, if that hadn't been the case, I don't know.
So you don't want to think about it at all. Just to summarise then, what would you say to everyone, because obviously we didn't really want to do this video, and we are in the video now, we didn't really want to do this, but I think bringing to light the idea of keeping stuff on charge, cars in garages and stuff, what would you say to everyone, because you are now on the receiving end of the worst thing, what would you say?
So we met with some fire people, some they're like fire safety inspectors, but they're also like counsellors, and they popped in because Nip was having a bit of trouble sleeping, so they popped in to put our minds at rest. And they said that as a family and as a household owner, we're doing everything we can to possibly, we weren't doing anything wrong before, but they don't say in these instructions to charge them away from your house. I won't charge anything like that now unless I'm there next to it. So if you're charging something, a drill, a laptop, whatever, be around. Don't go to bed with it, because it's unstable. Once it becomes unstable, there is no stopping it. It's unbelievable how quickly that took. And it is in a brick garage. That brick garage is gone. That got so hot that fell over. So yeah, and that was I live in a Victorian house. They're strong, let me tell you. The garage gone, and the garage door that was made of metal twisted up like a crisp packet. But the heat was unbelievable. I would definitely not charge something unless you are present. If you're home and you're working in your garden, in your garage, put it on charge. Don't go indoors and forget about it, because they said to me that they're going to be battling this problem for probably the next 50 years. They said that their main call out is battery fires.
Wow, that's crazy.
So we've gone from the chip pan fired era and the dodgy electric era to now, everyone's got superior electronics at home now. Clever braking systems that just short. If you get short, boff, power's gone, isn't it? That cannot tell if a battery's malfunctioning, because as far as it's concerned, the charger's fine. There's no failsafe. The failsafe is the human. You are the failsafe. It ends with you. So if you've not switched it off and it goes up in flames, it's not your house's fault. It's not your electronics' fault. It's the fault of the item, yeah, but ultimately you for, I don't know, leaving it on when perhaps I've now realised, even though mine would have switched off at 11 o'clock. I'd have gone in there, if it didn't work on the Bluetooth, and I'd have switched it off manually, or I'd have just gone click, and everything would have gone down. I didn't get that chance. Hour and 10 minutes it was on charge. Wouldn't have even got it to 20%. This is a big battery cartridge. This long, like that, slotted in the side of this toy. I didn't get the chance. The only reason we know what happened is a fire forensics team came the next day, and he found the batteries on the floor, and he found the one culprit that was like kinked like that and had like a mouth where it had thrusted out. It popped itself open. If you try and get hold of a battery, you ain't bending it, are you? You're not doing that. That's what happened inside. That exploded on its own accord. From nowhere. And the chain of events leading up to it, me putting the Christmas lights up, and what if I just put that battery charger on and the Christmas lights weren't on, so I didn't have a reason to go in there, only to turn that battery charger off. You know, there's loads of reasons and
scenarios,
what ifs and maybes, but ultimately just be safe with your electrics. And I've paid quite a small price for a fire. You know, a car can be replaced, but I've got my family. Others haven't been so lucky, and I was lucky that day because everyone that means everything to me came out of that house.
Right, well, thank you very much for chatting about it. We appreciate it. And yeah, just to summarise, the RS Turbo's gone, basically.
It's gone, yeah. It's completely finished and took off beginning of January and has been scrapped. There was nothing savable. It's gone.